Alright, my lovely ones, we there again, J Progress Entertainment. You know, so I need one GoPro. And my phone me I use, you know. I'm going to try and get a GoPro, yeah, man. Yeah. Alright, my people. See it, yeah? So I go on my pot there, you know. That is the brown stew chicken. Almost done, you can't see it, you can't see it. So now, this is our veg. But here we deal with vegetable now, people. Because we do it different from them, you know. We cut up with veg, right? And then, what I go do, I want to see now. Make me see if you can see. Then I have my salt. Yeah? And I have some sprinkle my salt. Right, because I do the salt sprinkling. You don't have to worry about how much salt you put on it right at this stage, because guess what? After I put on the salt, I want the cold water. You see me there? And that me use and rinse my my veg. Some people cut them into some big chunks first before they even dice it up and rinse it. But here what me do, you see what me do this now with the salt water and the cold water this so, me left that and make it go and soak little. And then me get to work with my vegetable. You see what me there? Yes. That's how we got to work. And then make we go back into the case now. Now we are going to give listening ears at the prosecution and see what them have to say. Remember, you know, we are Jamaican, you know. We are fluid kind of theory to everything. We can't go with the Privy Council, we can't just listen them, but we want to hear where the prosecution are come with. We already get a little touch of the defense team, where them are based off. So make we see how the prosecution are take themselves out of this. And remember, good my people, are one J Progress and no other. Remember, I'm making the cautionary tales, you know. So, we are going to learn something from this year. We're really going to the highest level of court. If I the same, if it's worth bringing an appeal to the Privy Council, or anything where Jamaica say you have to just work with it because the Privy Council now going to say no difference. We are going to know that today. By couple months time when them reach them verdict in everything after the appeal, yeah, we see if it gone through, if Vybz Kartel free or he might go stay in prison for the rest of his life. Simple as that. So make we jump into the prosecution side of it now, my people. Because we don't know where they might come with. So make we jump in here.
That the conviction should be quashed or ought to be quashed.
Hold on.
He reflects having an eye to his face. Forgive me, my lady, yes. And then she goes on to say shortly afterwards, when he came out of the vehicle, my son came in and him said to me, said inaudible. I was a bit angry with my son. I was a bit angry because he knew that I was coming and I didn't want to meet up with them. So I think his delay means St. John's would have seen me. So I was angry at him. I think I must be their son now. You know me and I come back because him see me. I never related anything, but she then goes on to talk about her conversation with her son. Near the end of the page, you may tell him me and a boy in the jail fight. And we go at the medical centre and him said to me, so there's been some sort of fight. And then over the page, 4 she says, no, Kartel saw him and said him see him mother a juror, and say St. John's tell him, but him not tell the other rest of the man. So she seems to have seen, or rather, a cartel appears to be involved as well at some point. It's not always easy to understand quite what is going on. But then if I can drop down to the end of the page.
I think we can probably take it the judge understood what was going on.
The judge, I'm not sure he necessarily did. But towards the end of the page, 4074, they who, she says, the prisoners at the bar are there, and my son is there, and they know that I am a juror. If anything should go down, probably, I don't know, if anything go down, I would hate to know that me is the one who have to bury you. And he said, Kartel said to him, he was saying if. So her concern is being on the jury, and then if the jury convicts these defendants, then she's going to be in trouble. or her son might be in trouble, rather. It's not that she personally is going to be attacked, but she's concerned about staying on the jury, because if she does and the jury convicts, then there might be trouble for her son. That's her concern. Then you see Mr. Vincent, that's Mr. Palmer's come.
Well, when you hear the part where the prosecution are come with, me must have missed the part a couple years ago and my brain get too old and I can't remember things again. But anyway, basically someone who is on the jury or should have been on the jury be very concerned about the safety of them son. So when the prosecution are come with now, I try to tell them judge and the Privy Council how dangerous this case was and how fearful people were of Vybz Kartel and his co-accused. In a way that even if you're on the jury and the court and the judge find them guilty and come back with a guilty verdict, you and the jury and your family could probably be in problem. And this is the first submission where the prosecution are put towards the judge. To make the judge them in the UK and the Privy Council know say Vybz Kartel is a dangerous man, him and him co-accuse them. We don't know we are work with where the judge and the people in the Privy Council are say. Remember, you know, we are idiot, we don't know what we want, we only are listen and try analyzing a few idiot terms. Simple as that. Right, they say there.
Palmer's counsel, she don't even have to say any more. Juror Kartel said to him, if he. And then the judge says, okay, what I want to know though, how you feel. You can bother with this, you can bother with the burden and all of this burial thing you talk about. The witness, Your Honour, the only thing I'm concerned about is my son's safety. They are there, he is there, they know him, Andrew St. John's is on the said block. All right, that's a lot. Please just step down for us, please. It's too much for her. Having heard what she said, I have changed my opinion. Yes, it's too much. So obviously at first he was thinking, this is still the teacup, but now he's thinking rather differently. And then the prosecutor has said, does seem to concerns with her son, and if the authority can find a way to move her son from Horizon, so she could have peace of mind to continue on the jury, the judge says, no, her son is now in custody of the state. No, yes, all right, the view is, Mr. Taylor, as prosecuting counsel, I wasn't trying to be brief and brush or comment aside, but from the performance that I saw her, it's clear to me for a parent to be placed in that situation that the body that she's sitting on may make a decision that may affect the son of her son, the safety of her son adversely. As a parent, it is an act that you don't want to place her in. In the circumstances, I don't think it's something she can properly deal with. We saw her performance just now. And then he goes on to say, therefore I think I had better discharge her. And then towards 4077, towards the end of the page, Mr. Rogers, I think he's Mr. St. John's counsel, but I stand to be corrected. Another issue. For the record, I would hope that what has happened was not discussed in the jury room. And as a consequence of that, it might have been left with the rest of the jurors. I know it's a painful aspect at this point, but a real concern. May I inquire through the registrar as to any particular person in respect of the jury who would be seized of this information? Registrar, when the information came, sir, two persons spoke to me, that lady and the foreman, in fact, forewoman. I inquired if anybody else is aware of the situation, and she said, no, just the two of them. So that would presumably be the forewoman and the juror.
If you're going to read on, I don't need to read aloud the foreman's name.
No. My Lord Bennett, if you could just read on to the end of to 4080, to the end of 4080, you will see what the upshot was and what takes place. So, my lord, my lady, what you get out of this is no one else knows except the forewoman and Capper. It's not gone to the jury. My lord, my lady, there's no reason at all to doubt that. There's even the forewoman, I think, says she only found out on this very day. And the judge finishes at 4:81 saying, I'll make an announcement that she has a personal difficulty. In my submission, there's nothing wrong with any of this. This is a perfectly sensible way of dealing with the matter. The judge has assured himself that no one else knows that there has been some incident. And I might add, the only, quote, incident is that she is concerned that her son is in the same, appears in the same prison as these accused. That's her concern. There isn't any concerns, certainly on the face of the record, that her...
Alright, let me get this right. So Vybz Kartel and him co-accuse them in the same prison as one of the jury's son. And the jury are worried really that if she ending up sit on the case and it not go Vybz Kartel them way, him son not go get hurt in a prison. So let me understand this now. Is a grave concern, yes, anybody would be concerned because them know who and them know who and who they on the jury. But in the first instant, you don't have to talk too much about that because once you say it, them supposed to take you off of the jury. You're not supposed to be on the jury once the risk is there. Once you have that risk, you're not supposed to be there. Because first thing, any communication, any connection, anybody who know nobody and them thing, they have to be on the jury. And this is why the defense team so big on the jury that went ahead in bringing about the verdict. No. The prosecution have to come and defend them thing too. And make them know that the jury did alright. It wasn't compromised. There was only one jury who was bribed and everybody else was good and performed the loyal sworn duty. You get me? So me don't know about jury and me don't know about them things. But what I like the thing says still personally that if 10 away there one place and I realize say everybody get approached or 10, 12 away. I think about 12 of them on the jury. And a man approach you all away a try bribe with. And only one come forward and one them say we ain't get the bribe and willing to take the bribe. Really and truly, me not take the check with the rest of them. Me I get rid of them. Me want a fresh set. Because I don't know who I think about the bribe, who when I play upon their mind, or because you did bribe me if. Me I go say no man, you're a criminal for real and be prejudiced against you I even go hard upon you to make sure you go to prison. So, I want a fresh set of jury personally. Yeah? So, make we see how it play out anyway. Make we see it, my people.
Her son has actually been threatened by any of the accused already. There's no basis to say that she would have spoken to other members of the jury and said that, or indeed to the foreman. So I submit there's nothing here which required the judge to go any further than he did. My learned, I think, can I just ask you also to note that this incident began, going back, at 2:25 p.m. That's 4072. That's when the tender briefing begins. When you get to 4082, you can see the time at which the Chambers meeting finishes at 2:50 p.m. and then the court resumes at 3:16 p.m. Now, I mention that because it is suggested that the appellants themselves should have been in Chambers at the time. Well, there are two answers to that. There was plenty of time for the appellants to be told, to the extent it was relevant, what had happened by their counsel. The gap between 2:50 p.m. and 3:16 p.m. The second point is, anyway, their counsel just simply didn't object to the course taken by the judge of holding this in private. Nor did they object to the course, the more general course the judge took of removing the juror. That's a point made by the Court of Appeal, and in my estimation that's a good point. And there's no reason to interfere with the Court of Appeal's judgment on this issue, which is referred to in our respective cases.
Alright, I think many can agree. And this part of the prosecution, where you have a concerned jury, where them end up put on the jury team, and she's concerned really that her son probably will be hurt in a prison because she's the same place where Vybz Kartel and him co-accuse them there. Right? And the judge take the initiative of removing that jury. Me can support that 100%, because if you have somebody who fearful of them family life because of the connections and everything, and them know who the jury is, and them know the jury son, and the jury son is in the same place as the accused, right? Me can understand with the judge making that move to remove that jury. But the problem with them have is that why when the one with them try to bribe, them never do the right thing and remove the entire team, right? So make we go further and see what go on with the prosecution, because it'll get interesting. Very, very interesting.
Can I just also draw your attention now to the case of Bonnet, where a not entirely dissimilar thing appears to have happened, and it's in the electronic bundle at page 6287. And that's where the case is. Forgive me, Moses, I think I picked up the wrong one. It's 6287. The relevant paragraph, if I can ask you to look at 6289, paragraph 21. And if I can just ask you to read that yourselves.
Think you hurry up, man?
Yes, so paragraph 21 and paragraph 22.
When I jump asleep and then quote over.
And then 23. It's 21 to 23. In particular 22 to 23. Where a similar sort of argument was run. There's exactly similar circumstances. 22.
They never come a courthouse prepare. Where them a dig down so? Brother, find the page, man. Who no come a court and who no come prepare? Me at the judge, me I tell him to hurry up, you know. Hurry up, man. Watch out. Who no nasty people, but them a judge, them a lie, I can't form the brother. And now the man no find the page where he look for a spin. And you have one courthouse I want to do there. Look how much money you have around him. He blow out. When you hear lap there chat, and the man don't find the page all now. And you're supposed to prepare on the submission when you not come a courthouse. Boy, I can't imagine my place there, you know? Couldn't do it. Me not think me had a patience there.
And the reason I draw attention to that is there are two things. Firstly, it's up to the judge. When you get these unusual spin balls of public way, it's up to the judge in the immediate circumstances to work out what is the best way of dealing with it. And I do submit hindsight and perfection are rather dangerous guides when that's the question. And that's the Orwell's case. The second thing is the Lord Hope emphasises, well, in that case, the defendant had 3 previous convictions, and the idea was that the juror, knowing the defendant, might then have gone and told all the other members of the jury, which Lord Hope says, but there was simply no evidence of that. So we're not going to interfere on that ground. And I submit, well, it's not identical, but there's a similar type of situation. So I submit, for that reason too, there's no reason to interfere with the Court of Appeal's view of that jury incident. If I can go now to the third point, can I just mention this? The judge, just basic facts, the judge persistently gave jurors very strong warnings right at the beginning of the case, and we set them out in our the main ones. Right at the beginning of the case, he emphasises to the jurors in terms that they are the judges, as a phrase he keeps on using. You are the judges, and you must decide in accordance with your oath. And I think if I can just go to the key bundle of documents, and so we set it out, the relevant bits in our written case. Page 6236. And give the references, but you can see paragraph 66, and then I'm afraid to say 65, well, it's after 66. Those are the things he says right at the beginning. And 67. Now, so very clear direction right at the beginning: decide in accordance with your oath, don't speak to anyone whatsoever, and that's you see in the 2 references I did there. And then in paragraph 67 we give various other references. Every time he sends the jury out, he reminds them in turn, do not talk to anyone, you have a very serious function to perform. Don't go and mess everything up now, because it will be fatal to this case if you talk to people. This is the drift, and I have millions more references which I don't have to hand, but all the time he's saying to the jury, this is a very serious thing, you mustn't speak to anyone, you must remember your oath. And my lords, I say this is important, and my lords, maybe I say it's important because after 56 days, the jury will be well aware of the seriousness of their task, and that they must not talk to anyone, and they must decide in accordance with the evidence.
But that's talking to somebody outside their number. What we're concerned with here is somebody within the...
I will come to what I call the naughty juror in a moment, but I'm obviously right to say he doesn't seem to have taken very much notice of it. I agree, I will do that. There is that point. But I'm talking for the moment about I'm going to address the points of law, obviously, but as a matter of fact, the jury had well impressed, and certainly at the 10, if I can put it that way, the 10 had well impressed in their minds the importance of deciding in accordance with the evidence. Of that there can be no doubt. And throughout the trial, they are obviously very well aware of the enormous publicity this case is creating. They know they are doing a very serious job. It's not just a 1, 2, 3-day job, small case. This is the big case in Jamaica. It's on the news every night. Crowds outside the courtroom, crowds in the courtroom. They realise, so to speak, they are separate from the public. And that, in my submission, is an important point when bearing in mind whether the judge was entitled to trust the jury. I'll deal with the battle miscreant, but and in my submission he was. He's given these directions. And they have, apart, of course, from the miscreant juror, there's no reason to doubt that the 10 have acted properly. My lords, my lady, the next point I want to emphasise, and I'll come to, if I may, the transcript, but the bribe was offered by the miscreant juror on behalf of, or rather in the interest of, all 5 defendants, including Shane Williams. Now you can see why I emphasise that, because the jury obviously did not convict Shane Williams, the attendant. He was acquitted. I'm going to come in a moment to the transcript, if I may, but while I'm on that point, the Shane Williams point, Chow gave evidence of a fight, an attack, in which the 4 men apart from Shane Williams were involved. In other words, Shane Williams was not himself implicated by Chow in the actual killing. What he was implicated in was that it was said Chow gave evidence that Shane Williams, who he called Terence, was one of the men in the video talking about a killing. And that was the basis on which the case went to the jury. So there was evidence, the judge did allow evidence to go to the jury in relation to Shane Williams, but it wasn't what you might call the same evidence Chow gave against the other 4 men. If I can just give you the reference for Shane Williams' involvement, or rather Chow's evidence of Shane Williams' involvement, it's an E4011. And Shane Williams is one of the people identified in the video, which was said to be incriminating. That was the case against him. But I do submit it is important that that is an indication the jury will not just say to themselves, I see that bribe has been offered on behalf of all of them, so they must all be guilty. The jury is distinguished between them.
Are you going to take us to the references to the 5, to the bribe being offered on behalf of all 5?
Oh, yes, yes. Because I would like to go to, it's not a very long transcript.
Alright, so when they say them bribe the jury of them 500,000 Jamaican dollars, they say them bribe the jury. The one where they did a bribe, and the bribe was for everybody. Right, but yet still one of them get off of the case, one of the brother them let them go. So I don't know if that the one they say certain thing when nobody else never did say. But me think most of what go on so still we already know from Jamaica days. I think really and truly when me look upon that thing, it's just more if you put back the same case in front of a different court to see how them deal with it. And go back through everything, all of the evidence, all of the references, everything what it say, everything what it happen. Because the Jamaica judicial system is not trusted. I am not gonna say I haven't had the unfortunate experience of going through the judicial system in Jamaica. Really. You know, so me can only speak from things when me see in the media and all of them things. Me, myself, never experienced them and say, I have been treated unfairly or anything like that. But, based on everything, and like me say, me no pick side, I don't know how J Progress go to work. Kartel is a good entertainer for me. How Kartel live in personal life, I don't know about it and I don't really care. Right? Me just hear with the people, them to try go so bam 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 and see what I go on. That is the prosecution. We have heard the side of the defense already. And pretty much people, they are just going over and over and over and over again like almost the same thing. Ring a rosy. You get me I say? But today is the last day of the hearing. And after today, we'll probably hear what really happened. But until then, make it go and wait. And make we see what happened, my people. Make we just see. Anyway, me I finish up my cooking here now, which me say me a cook and listen it and reason we don't know. We don't just see me do some cabbage and some sprouts and drop some sweet corn and that is something new. I want to see when me put my file paper over my steam veg, that make your veg steam a lot quicker, a lot better. And you know some people do them steam veg and they mushy. No. That steam your veg so perfectly when you do that. Other than just cover it with your pot cover and turn down the stove. Yeah? So what we have now, we are going to just have some broccoli left. And what we going to do with them broccoli here, put it in a little small saucepan. Yeah? Put it in I want to see as well, as some working and some go to work. We wash as we go along. We not do dirty. That's how we cook. ladies you can tell sometime when you do with a man. When you go out and then cook and when you go out and have to go wash up plate and all them sitting there because you left everything dirty, you know work. A man can cook as clean as him go along when him a cook. So the only thing you're supposed to, if you even did as a woman and go wash up sitting, and just the plate them when you eat out. Because that's how chefing go. You can tell. We clean as we cook. So once you think them upon the fire simmer, we clean up and do the right thing. You see me? When we don't cook, only the pot them upon the fire alone supposed to have certain thing did it. Simple as that. So as me say, this broccoli you know, little saucepan, do the right thing and then I me that car. Chicken brown soup and done already. Veg almost finished. You just see me throwing the sweet corn them. And then I weigh that. Then when you have some food and get ready again for the work. Cause remember say, me no gonna big on the YouTube better me can nah go work. Me still have to do me full time. So, you know, me just wait for me people them to support me. Me have enough subscribers me can actually make a money. I so me can make a money so me can say alright, fully YouTube and give no big content. Whole heap of content. But my people until then, we don't know we got to work already. And me still have the cautionary tales them and me have some bad story when me have line up phone. You know wait till me just run off that little cartel something here. Just run off. Cause by today done. Cause me have story they line up already for you know. Me have some sitting who just wait till me drop them. Believe. 1J Progress Entertainment. Remember the people, we hit the 15K. So right now we're on a different mission. 20K of the mission. And me don't know if me can put it on March, but me will try. 20K by the end of March. Me could try. Cause me know some people them love support me things. So we ever try 20K by the end of March. Me think it close still, but to the way you want to support me and to me see me set the goals in my arch. So why not? 20K by the end of March, my people. 1J Progress Entertainment. You don't have to ask nobody nothing, you know. And nobody have to tell you nothing now. 1J Progress. Believe.